We're going to go live on TikTok. We're going to live on YouTube. We're going to live on Facebook. This is my first ever live, guys, over here. If you don't see me talking, I'm with my partner, Carrie, and she just had an amazing weekend of Hoop, co-conspirator, my co-host. And if you want to see our live views going on, you can watch it here on live on YouTube if you want to watch the full video. But Miss Carrie, give us the introduction. Tell us what you do. Hope they can hear you while I get this all set up for the YouTube live. And it's
Yeah.
going to be one of our first ones. Oh, by the way, my name is Gordon Watt. I have so many cameras going on, that I'm Gordon Watt from Boundaries and Brotherhood. As soon as it gets set up, Carrie's going to run you right down through everything. Go
Thanks,
ahead.
Gordon. Okay, so I'm Carrie Pullaro, a relationship and mindset coach. I help high achieving women stop chasing love and learn and embody the fact that they are the prize. They get to become the prize and learn how to receive.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
like I think today's topic, I really want to lean into loving your life, the importance of loving your life when you are desiring to be in relationship with someone, because the most important person to be happy is you, right? Like you get to be happy. And if you think about it, it's like, man,
Absolutely.
if I'm walking around my life bitching and complaining about stuff, like who really wants to be around that? Who wants to be around that? And so, of course, I'm going to repel men or I'm going to repel potential partners. They're not in alignment with me when I'm bitching and complaining about my life.
Correct.
And I've had this conversation like quite a few times this week with some clients where it's easy to allow the 3D circumstances to affect you, right? And so that's why I get to be in the practice of understanding that I am in control of creating my reality. And this is what I've created so far. If I'm unhappy with it, then I get to shift my energy and change,
No,
you know?
absolutely. One of the main points is you have to live your life your way, but you also have to love yourself in a way so that you can make other people happy and attract certain people in your life that's going to compound everything else that you have going on. Because if you're not happy with your life, things can go sideways and who knows what's going to happen because you're not seeing the signs, you're not seeing the momentum, you're not seeing the people you love, you're not seeing all this other crap that's going on. And one of the biggest moments that you're going to find out, right, is when you're figuring out that once you love your life and you accept everything, a lot of the times you're going to think everything has just been bullshit that you created on yourself. I mean, it's bullshit validation, money, things that you want to do for yourself. And you try to repel a lot of different people going for that. And it's all for nothing, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I cannot stress enough how important the thing for Carrie is because the person she is, I can tell it, I can see in her eyes the change, the internalization of it all. Explain some of the stuff that you've been through to actually realize this stuff.
I think doing the work on myself
Right.
and learning to accept the fact that I've been through some uncomfortable situations. I've been through some shit.
Right.
And
You've
not
been through some shit, is
been through,
right.
yeah, that's, I mean, that's the easiest way to explain it. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
through some shit and I can sit and focus on the big pile of shit, or I can go, okay, where do I
Right.
want to go from here? And I think a lot of the issue is we're so accustomed to focus on the thing that we don't have, the lack, the scarcity. And then we just attach ourselves to that. And we sit in this place longer than we want until the pain becomes great enough for us to move our ass.
Ooh, the pain to move your ass, or even to understand that the pain can be diverted.
Yeah. And it's finally to the point where it's like if the pain is great enough, will you move? For me, pain used to be my biggest motivator, and it still can be to this day. But I was posing this question to one of my clients yesterday, how can you make your life extraordinary and allow that to pull you instead of the pain? Like, how
Right.
about I focus on what's possible, the extraordinary, and how can I see that I'm like the magician of my life? How can I make my life magical? And that's fun and that's creative. And if I let that pull me, like when you were a little kid, I guarantee you that would have been so exciting. Like, oh my God, but as adults, we're so conditioned not to be that way.
Right, 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 right. Because a lot of the times you got to understand the things that you wanted to become took a little work, took some experience, took some bumps and bruises. You know,
Hmm.
like back in my day, you put up the ramp, you jump the thing with the skateboard or do yourself. It's a different time now,
Yeah.
and this movement that you see, that I see on a lot of the shows and stuff, it's all about that movement, that feminist movement sometimes, or that way that you were in at one point in time,
Hmm.
right? That mindset.
Yeah.
But that mindset also didn't bear you no win, because at the end of the day, you was at angry, you was lonely, you didn't accept the things that you were doing, but now you got able and a fulfilling life. You got to me, guys, Carrie has a purposeful, fulfilling life that's just simply amazing. How do I know she has that internalized? Because I've been through it too.
Yeah.
Because understand that one of the things that she's saying is she didn't even understand it. How did you understand this stuff? She said, "Oh,
I think it was just constantly diving into the work and people calling me out on my behaviors, because if the behaviors don't change, the
right,
thinking isn't going to, well, if the thinking isn't changing, the behaviors aren't going to change, and you're going to be in this constant, like in this constant rut. It's learning to, how can I see the beauty in everything, or see the possibility in everything. And I'll use an example. Yesterday, I had a client who just wanted to share with me all the shitty things that had happened to her that week. And
I can
she
understand."
was naming all the things. I was hearing all the possibility in something new that she could create. And I was like, oh my God, congratulations.
Right.
And I was sharing all the possibility. And she was like, I don't know how you can be happy and celebrate me for all these things happening. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to lean into possibility. How could you surrender to the magic of what's happening right now if you looked at it as magic?
It
How
is.
could you surrender to that? And then
It is.
the question you ask yourself every day is,
How good?
how
How
good
good
can
it
it
can
get?
get.
And so if you
Absolutely.
just start to shift those thoughts that go through your head, then from there it's like that's surrendering to the magic of the guidance that you're receiving. You're going that direction.
The hard part is you want the instantaneous thing. You never do get that instantaneous hierarchy or gratitude because you haven't been through that shit yet. You haven't been through the crap yet to even appreciate everything. This is why a person commented on one of my posts, "Oh, it's easy for you, Gordon. You think like it's all is because you never been a meth addict and all that good stuff." I said, "I'm not here to judge. I've been a screw up for half my life. Already been a meth addict. Already been in prison. Already did the 9 to 5. Now me also, I'm living a purposeful life with my kids because I didn't have a childhood. I didn't
Mhm.
have all these things. I didn't have the validation. I was, abused and all this other crap. But if you look at the appreciation, everything else that you have going on, right? Like you said, when I see people going down this path and they're not seeing the beauty, the magic that they have for everything else, you learn to appreciate everything, the relationships, the people, the opportunities, the time, the attention. And then the people around you, you start looking at them really, really different.
Mhm.
Like, how do you see people now versus like stressing or oh, I need to like Miss Carrie said, you can watch this because she sees the magic in everybody because there's an aura about her. There's a glow. You don't see it. I seen it a mile away. That's why I reached out because it's a beautiful thing to see. And I just want people to be on a different level than they was yesterday, 1 month, God forbid, 10 years ago. And you're still stuck looking at the same things.
And it's interesting that you said that. Like for me, it was a practice to see the greatness. It was easier
Yes.
for me to see the greatness in other people, but it was still difficult because I still, in the very beginning, I wanted to judge. I wanted to compare people to
Mm.
me, and like how I didn't measure up and all the things. And I remember a mentor said to me, I was sharing with her, I had a client and I was like, man, I don't really know where to go with her. I need some guidance with this. And I started sharing with her my experience. And she said, wow, it seems to me that you're focusing on all the things wrong, and that leads me to believe that you are that hard on yourself. And so, how would it look if you celebrated and saw the greatness in yourself so that you could see the greatness in others. And this was years ago. And it was one of the most powerful conversations I had because I didn't realize that,
Hey,
because she was like, it's not that you're not seeing her, you're seeing you.
yourself.
You're seeing you. And I
You're
was
seeing
like,
yourself.
oh my God, holy crap, And she said, you you get to be in a place of gratitude that she's in your life because she is shining like a mirror. She's a big mirror of how you see yourself. This is an opportunity for you to see the greatness in yourself. And I was just like, wow, that was powerful.
Absolutely. I guys, I got Mr. Goyo Perez who did some time with me before. Guys, this is my first time doing live over here. I got like three different things going on right now. I got my thing here, but I just wanted to do a shout out. My brother, thanks for everything that you did for me back then. Just wanted to give you a shout out.
Oh,
Right?
that's
Because
awesome.
a lot of the time, this live thing might be cool. You might have to do this too. You're absolutely correct because if you come from a place of being grateful from where you used to be before, a lot of the times most people just compare,
Yeah.
especially some of your clients when they compare what their life. How many times do you see yourself in your clients?
Oh my God, all the time. All the time. And I think that's the part that it's like, oh, like there's not a place of judgment. It's just, oh man, I recognize this and I can identify and I can support this person because I have been in this space before.
Right. A lot of the times it's like when you talking through your ass, right? Basically, if you're talking through your ass and you're not even figuring out certain other things, you understand that when you're not coming from a real authentic place of giving advice or giving some coaching, giving some calls, giving some advice or giving encouragement, right?
Mhm.
But if you're giving answers from a place of true experience, how does that resonate with your clients? Because when they look at you like, oh, I want, it's so funny because they're probably looking at you and your life now. The life that you have is your dream. You're
Mhm.
living, walking it, dreaming it right now from all the crap. And they're looking at it, you and they're wondering, like, how can I get there now when you was once in their spot? So what do you tell them? And give me some of the aid and some of the problems because I'm interested.
As when I was younger, like I look back at my relationships when I was younger and I notice like I wasn't living from a place of integrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't practice honesty. I really didn't have any clear values. I mean, maybe I did have some values, but you could give or take them, right? It was convenience.
It's convenience for you. You could use them when you thought it was going to be in that
I'd
place
pull
where
them out when I needed them. It was more for manipulation than it was like that, oh, I'm truly living by my value. That's lack of integrity. Of course, it made sense that I was with men that lacked integrity and that weren't committed to the relationship. Like, oh my God, like I can only attract who I am. And so having that experience and looking back later, it's like, oh yeah. And I do appreciate each one of them in their own way for how they did show up. But yeah, they were all just a mirror and reflection of me. That was the capacity in which I could attract a partner at that time.
going through all those things that how do you practice living a life that you love now?
So I have an accountability partner that I connect with every week. And we talk about this totally set me up to win.
Nice.
We talk about what it is that we're celebrating for the week, the things that we've accomplished. And then
Beautiful.
we go into what are we declaring for this week? We do this all the year round, right? At the end of the year, we do a huge celebration. It's like a double call where we celebrate everything that we have created over the year. And what that entails is I go down and I start to make a list of, and all I have to do is go back in my photos, right? Let me go back to January and I start looking, I'm like, oh, I've documented everything. And then I start to see all the beautiful things that I have created in my life. And now, I mean, that's a whole year, right? Like I look at the whole year and I'm like, oh my God, like we traveled here. We got to see family. I shifted my business here. I did this, I did that. And you start to be in appreciation. Now, if I take that into smaller doses, like I can do that every month and really begin to see what I'm creating for the month and lean into the appreciation of that, right? And I don't have to wait to do it once a year. But then
I
I get
mean,
to see what I'm really truly enjoying.
oh, I mean, you're enjoying your life just like me, even though my messy house, my kids running around half naked all the time. But that's what I want. If I wanted to go set up another six-figure company, I would. I mean, it's like, in fact, I'm doing that right now as we speak because things are just lining up with the live streams, with my selling, with my tenacity, my craft. But my products is coming from overseas now. Everything is building a warehouse. I mean, it's doing things like you said, because everything comes with time and reason. It doesn't have. How does that work for you when you get to do this for other people?
Oh my God, it feels amazing. And especially, I just celebrated one of my clients yesterday because she was dating someone and she was just like, man, I don't think he's just really not that into me. He's very inattentive. Well, no, I mean, she was dating someone and she was like, I just don't feel like he's that into me. And so even from that statement alone, it's what is your assumption? Like are you assuming that he's
Oh,
really not that into you? Is this an old wound? Because remember, I can only see life through the lens in which I really believe is true
correct.
for me. And I already recognized that this was a pattern from her, that she was
Okay.
always making this statement with every single person that she dated. And I was like, oh, let's address that piece. Because not every single man can be this, right? It's the lens. So when we started addressing that, and how she can shift the way that she looked at him, from there, she began to shift her thinking and be in appreciation of the way that he is showing up for her and that he really was attentive. When she really started to write out, I asked her to write out all the things that he does, how he does show up for her. And when she started to list them down, I was like, oh my God, what do you mean he's not that into you? But if you believe that your whole life, that someone's not that into you, then you go in every relationship believing that. It doesn't matter how that person shows up, they can show up and give you the world. But if you believe that they're not into you, then they're not into you. And they'll never be into you because you believe it, no
They're
matter
not going to
what it
be into
is.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the times, people sabotage themselves for no reason at all. And then they figure out that later on in life, like for you, for a lot of our friends, they figured out that things can move on if you just let go of all that bullshit. Basically, the stuff that you're holding on to is not relevant. If you was to reverse engineer the life you had now, the life able, the family, the move, everything else, did you see yourself doing these 5 years ago?
No, no, not at all. Yeah, absolutely not at all. And yeah, and it really is a testament to the work that I've
Right.
done.
That's what I get it.
And it's showing up day after day, even if I don't fucking want to. It's like going to the gym. You know what? Like today
Yep.
I woke up, I went for a walk with Abel, and then I was like, man, I don't want to go to the gym. And I'm like, I can make it happen. Let me see if I can get with Gordon 30 minutes later so that I can keep my commitment to myself, right? Like sometimes it's little things like that.
Hey, I can work around whatever. You know what I mean? And then you're with Abel, that's more important. Your relationship with Abel, I will put him up first. If you told me that, hey, that's you. You stay with him every day. It's just like for me and my kids, right? Hey, I got something going on with the kids. Is that whatever. So things can work, but my commitment to you has always been the same. We're gonna do this, and guess what? There is so much momentum going on with things going on. It's like I told Andrew already. Well, last week she had to go to her follow up. So she goes, "You come and say I gotta do my thing with Carrie. You can drive, go follow up. We'll go do our thing." When you move into a way of living that you put your purpose first, like right now, your relationship with Abel is your purpose,
Mhm.
basically. I mean, you have your own identity, you do your own thing, but you get to be a you, which makes it perfect. It's same like me. I know in my business, it's going to hit all one time because the man up above told me, because you better be ready. So we're already making adjustments because they go to school. He's going kindergarten. So everything's going to fall in place real fast. So everything I'm doing now is all pre-gaming for everything is about to hit. I have the skill sets, the drive, the tenacity,
Yep.
the everything that I know I can do. And then now it's going to be fun. Oh, it's the same thing. But it's the same like you're grateful for everything because you just don't know when it can end. The
Mhm.
magic. You said it perfectly. The magic that you created is something I want to see everybody. This is why this channel is made, guys. This is why this channel is made. In fact, this way.
You got cameras everywhere. It's so great.
It's like a Chinese live selling. But it's one of those things that you have to understand that when you see the magic in everybody's lives, you start to see the good in everything. I've been that negative person, but it's a skill set that you see. What do you see? Put you on the spot because you used to be that person. And then it's such a changed feeling. How does it feel?
It feels like I look back at the older version of me and I'm like, wow, she would not believe where I am today. Is it required that I stop abandoning myself? It required that I choose me and stop waiting for other people to choose me. It required a different level of being clear and intentional with what I wanted to create in my life. And I no longer was content with sitting where I was and feeling like I was stuck. And then realizing that, oh my God, I have the power. I've
Keys.
always had the power. Holy shit.
You always had the keys.
I always had the keys.
In fact, me and Doc's talk last week was about you have control of the door. You choose to close it. You choose to close it. Once you start unlocking that door, you choose to open it. Most people are afraid of who they become on the other side. Most people don't understand what's going on with you holding the door. Me, I'm the type who ram that door open and then figure it out on his own. If you was to go back, where was your pivot point in becoming the Carrie you are now? Was it because of Abel? Or was he a catalyst?
I think walking away from my last relationship was one of the big pivot points because it was me declaring to myself that I deserved more. And then as soon as I did that, that's when Abel came in.
You went from one relationship to Abel, or was it a brief period, or you just
Oh
jumped?
no, it was a lengthy period. It was probably
Okay,
like
I
6
was
to
like,
8 months.
like, damn, the other guy
No,
got
he
the
didn't
corner.
come in like that, like within 24
Okay,
hours. No, it was like a
okay.
good 6 to 8 months. What happened was me determining the Sky Gordon, you cracked me up. You were like, what the fuck?
I was like, damn, that was that fast. Like, no, no,
Um,
okay, we have to clear that up. Clear it
I
up.
mean,
Clear
and
the
I'm
air.
not saying that that couldn't happen for people, but I know for
Right.
me, it required me, for one, leaving that relationship was a declaration to myself that I deserved more. And then it was dive into some work, some internal work, because not only do you get to say that to yourself, you get to believe it and you get to heal this part of you that, for whatever reason, believes that she deserves breadcrumbs or that she in the past deserved someone to tell her what to do, to guide the relationship, to tell her how to be the perfect girlfriend, and just be in this watered down version of Carrie.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
that's not
And
good.
so
Yeah,
it was like I was never being who I truly was,
true.
walking away from that, doing work on myself. And then I ended up in the midst of doing the work on myself, I ended up in a workshop,
Yeah,
and that's where I met Abel.
right, right. And
Yeah.
then you also understand like the phases that you've been through your workshop, your healing, the progress, the people in your life, the people that's trying to help, but you didn't see it, right? To actually see it all come together, to have this basically a finished product, Carrie 3.0.
Yeah, and this isn't the end, and I think that that's the part that a lot of people think, "Oh, I'm going to do a little bit of work and then I'm done." And it's like, no, no, no. Personal development is a continuous space.
You always
I am becoming. I'm becoming the next version of me, and I'm always becoming the next version of me.
right,
There's
right, right.
always something more to uncover. It's never ending. I'm not going to arrive at some place. As soon as I stop learning, then I'm like dead. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, then again, too, your continued development shows the wisdom and tenacity of everything that you got going on, especially if you're in a phase in life where you might be stuck. You might be in a phase in life where you're not getting where you need to be and you're wondering why, right? It could be
Hmm.
drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be prison, it could be all that crap we've been through, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Woo!
I got to go to LA now. The LA guys, it's time to set up their warehouse and everything else.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That is it. But that's one of those things that we have to understand, that personal development, living the life that you create,
Yeah.
living the life that you love to have, is part of the deal when you put in the work. A lot of people, even if you watch all my inspirational faceless videos, I just did one where it's like, you have to be able to take the chance to move forward so that you can create a life you truly deserve and want. Because as was our topic, the love that you have for your life involves also other people. You can't be selfish about it. You know what I mean? Because what good
Mhm.
is that if you're selfish about the life that you deserve, not showing gratitude? Because who are you going to share it with?
Yeah, and I believe that we're all here to serve. Uh,
Absolutely. Now,
and not serve ourselves.
yeah.
But in the midst of serving others, you do serve yourself. You find the fulfillment in serving others. I mean, that's really what it's truly all about.
Let me ask you this: how long has it been now? Oh, we're at 30. We're at 30. But how does it feel knowing that the life that you created is so much more, the realization, than what you used to think? Then we can trade stories because you can think about from your point of view, everything from the past and everything else. Okay, how are you going to interview for this man? How are you going to get this from this man? How does it compare to the women you see now and their games that they're playing? And you'll be like, what the frick is going on with this guy? Then I see the men, actually the weak men,
Mhm.
being simps, just giving it all up for nothing because that's what they think they know. It's like there was a disconnect somehow, and
Mhm.
it kind of trips me out. Actually, this is why part of the channel is like having boundaries for yourself.
Boundaries, self-respect.
Oh, that goes a long way.
Oh my God.
You got to have self respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, there gets to be a level of respect that I have for myself and the way that I carry myself. And at the same time, I get to get out of my head and get out of my brain and my thinking and have fun and enjoy my life. And when
Right.
I'm enjoying my life, like that's the part that's attractive.
I mean, how many other besides your close friends do you have your circle bigger now or smaller and more precise?
I think it's smaller and it's more intentional. And I think that's the big
Yeah,
difference with my life today than it was in the past was there's a lot of intentionality. I'm very intentional with my time. I'm very intentional with what I'm creating. And I try to stick to that because I find that when I allow all this other clutter, that's a distraction. And so that's the difference today is because I know what it takes to create something different, I get to be intentional with my time. And that means
absolutely.
everything that's a distraction gets to be put over here to the side.
How would you classify the steps you would put in line to have the life you love? How do you create a life that you love emotionally, relationship wise? How would you tell somebody that's beginning
Mm.
what to shoot for and the steps? If you was to go back and knowing what you know now, what would be your exact steps?
I think I would just start with something simple. And what I said to my client is how good can it get today? And if I can start
Mm,
my day with how good can it get today, and I'm looking for how good it can get today, now I'm looking for it. It's in the forefront of my mind. Now I'm looking for it. When I see it, it's a change in my body, right? Like my body feels it. Yeah.
yeah,
And then I'm
yeah,
going to attach to it. Now that becomes a habit. And that
right,
habit I'm going to continue.
right.
And then I just can't help but look for the extraordinary things that are happening in my life. And when that happens, I begin to enjoy life, right? Like everything begins to shift within me and I begin
Right.
to enjoy my life. That doesn't mean I don't need to do my own healing work, but just something that small of for me, I have been so conditioned to look at all the things wrong. Just that one little thing. If I would have learned that in the very beginning instead of later on, that would have shifted so many things in my life.
But I understand that because you're not looking for the positive. It does serve you at one
Mhm.
point, right? In the beginning stage, you're doing things for the wrong reason. So you're not seeing the magic, like you said, the
Not seeing
gratefulness.
the
You're
magic.
not seeing,
Yeah.
you don't want to see the magic because it's not paying your bills. You're not getting that money. You're not getting what you want. You have appreciation for your small circle of friends. Everything is intentional. Everything is for a very same reason. And that's magic in itself. Would you call that old age?
I think it's
Because
wisdom.
I think so. I question myself about that also. Is it old age or is it because I just turned 57 last week? So it's like, is it old age or is it like you said, wisdom? Which one is it from your choice?
Oh, I'm choosing wisdom.
There you go.
I am choosing wisdom because now I kind of know the formula, right? Like if I know the formula,
Right.
now I can just duplicate it over and over and over
Absolutely.
again. If you think about the most attractive qualities in someone, if you walk into a room and you can feel the energy of people when they
Right.
enter the room, right? If they
Right.
are loving them life or they led their life, or if they're looking around, comparing themselves to other people, you can tell by their posture, like by the way they speak, the way they stand, like everything. You can see where people are at. And I think the most magnetic people walk in with this energy and this aura about them that is like this pull, like this suction. You're like, whoa,
Bang.
it's absolutely magnetic. And you're like, I want to go talk to that person. I don't really need to know anything about them. I just want to talk to them.
Yeah, because it draws the confidence. Confidence draws curiosity, and then you think, how can I collab and get some information? Because it's how you hold yourself up. It's how you walk in the room. It's that aura that comes up because you have that magic. Right now, Miss Carrie has the magic. You have the magic. And this is what I want a lot of people to understand, that it is magic and it's not hard. The thing is, it's you make it harder than it is, because if both of us can come from a lifestyle of,
He just speaks about recovery from a
it's
recovery.
a recovery standpoint.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. A recovery standpoint, but there's, from a recovery standpoint, there's much more gutterish stuff that goes on before that recovery
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Right? It's like Carrie
And he
goes,
doesn't get that because he's not from that lifestyle.
and
So
so does Angela, that has no idea whatsoever. She goes, I don't understand. It's like,
I'll tell him things and he's just like, he doesn't really get.
yes.
And I think it's so cool. I'm like, oh my God, let me share with you this crazy story. And then he's just kind of like, whoa. And I'm like, maybe I overshared.
But it's so
No.
funny because it's good to have that grounding principle. Because it kind of like when me and I was like, it's like she don't know. She goes, she
Yeah.
don't. She's like, why do people are like this? I'm like, because she's straight brought up in the church. That's like
Oh my, yeah, so is he. And so let me ask you, what was the thing that attracted you the most to Andrea?
the thing that attracted me the most was she just stuck by herself. Like she was my dispatcher, right? She was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, everybody's hating on her. She's the new media. She's the new person in the workplace. Blah blah
Hmm.
blah. This and that. Everybody's. I'm in a different state of mind because I'm trying to get my life back together, right?
Right.
Okay. She goes like, how come I don't talk to her? And then she found out from us, oh yeah, he just came out. He ain't trying to talk to nobody.
Right.
But that's what attracted me to her, because she's not bothering nobody. Everybody's bothering her. Then I asked her like, hey, you want to go do this? You want to do that? Our first date was, I took her to a UFC fight. Basically, one of my friends was fighting, so it was like, okay, we hung out, we talked, and what happened? eh, We broke for the fight, everything, and I pulled her hand, and something shocked us. I don't know if it's love shocking, like it was meant to be, or it was static electricity. I still say it's static electricity to hold my, but it's like right there, we both knew, right? And then it continued from there.
That's really cool.
I mean, I'm still kind of 2 kids later, a couple houses later.
But I love that. What
Oh, and a
attracted
pig,
you to her
and a
was
pig.
like her energy. Like you said, stood by herself.
Basically, like
Confidence.
she was confident. She
Yep.
had things going on. She was doing stuff, but I just asked. I shot my shot, and that's what. But then now we have, even though like no relationship is perfect. With kids, you just add a compounding effect to it, right? And then now it's like, okay, when I look at it from having a grateful from where I've been, she doesn't get that part,
Yeah.
right? But she understands that, because she's still one of those persons still gonna grumble about everything, blah 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 blah, because she hasn't gone through all that stuff. But it's one of those things, like when I try to explain to her and I sit down, I talk to her, have the talk, then it kind of works out a day later or so.
Oh my God. So good.
But no, yeah, that's it. But so that was. In fact, that was. We see what happens when we don't. How long have we been on this? Oh my god, weird stuff. We've been going there. It's like 40 minutes already. Carrie, you want to end the show? And guys, let me end the show, because we didn't see each other for like a week and a half, 2 weeks almost. So it was like kind of cool. We got to get back together and talk because she was busy. Let's end the show right there, Carrie. This is pretty good. See what happens when you want to do.
Listen, if you want to be in a secure and emotionally available relationship with a partner who loves you, you get to become that person first. That's about you shifting everything internally and the way that you view the world. And that really is, that sums up our whole conversation today is
Absolutely.
is really about your outlook, the glasses that you have on.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Live the life you have. Take it from Carrie right there. Take it from us. Join the conversation next week. Same time next week, Tuesdays, the Carrie and Gordon show.